All right, so we're dealing with 2007 Suzuki XL-7. I've done brakes on this car and other stuff, roof leaks and blah blah blah, and trunk, latch release, whatever. So we're replacing the alternator. Oh man, I gotta tell you, I pulled the old one. It was so freaking bad to pull it out, because once you pull it out of there where it sits, I couldn't pull it out of the car from here. So I kind of worked my way around over this, and I was able to pull it right over here. It was a pain in the ass. I was about to take the coolant hose off that comes with the radiator so I can get this thing out, but I managed to pull it out. So it's gonna be a quick video. Unfortunately, I cannot, hold the camera and film at the same time and pull it out. But anyway, you get the ratchet. First thing you need to do to pull the old alternator out is, of course, unplug the battery, totally out, or just the positive or negative out. Then unscrew the positive terminal right over there on the back of the alternator. Then you have another connector right there we need to disconnect. Then next step you need to do is get a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, and right under there, right where this thing is, try to get this closer, right there, this is the tensioner. This is the belt tensioner. So you put this guy in there, just like that. Come on. Come on. I get all the way in. Let me try to push it with my other hand. There you go. So once this thing is in, you put pressure on it, and you can see how the belt come loose. There you go. Then on the hook, once you do that, while applying pressure on this guy, take this pulley off, because the alternator is connected to it. So this pulley goes through one of the openings on the alternator that is connected to the block of the car. So you would have to pull this guy out, this bolt right here. Then you pull this ratchet out of the way. Some of the cars you might not have enough clearance to put a regular ratchet. There's a special wrench for it. You just gotta go buy it. I just don't have this one. I'm lucky that there's enough clearance here so my tools can fit. Anyway, and before you do all that, I forgot, there's this bracket right here that you need to disconnect. It's sitting right over there. One hole over there, one hole over there, 2 bolts. You pull this guy out, and then this bracket is attached to this guy. So you take these 2 apart, put it on the side, release the tension of the belt, remove the belt, take this bolt off, take those 2 bolts off right here. Let's get this connector out of the way. This bolt here, this bolt here, this one right here where the positive comes in, the alternator. Then pull out the whole alternator out, get the new alternator in, do everything in the reverse order. Put these 2 bolts first, but don't tie them up, just nice and snug on by hand. Just get the slack off of them. Then pull this pulley back. Then you can tie this one, and you can tie those 2 bolts right there. It's right there. Once you do that, put the tension, get the tensioner, release the tensioner, hook the belt back on. Make sure the belt is laying in every single pulley the way it's supposed to be. Take a picture if you cannot do it, or if you don't remember, draw a scheme or whatever. It's up to you. Then once you hook up the belt, I figure out that hook it up for the alternator first is easier than just hook it up for the alternator first and then on the pulley. It's easier than going the other way. And then once you do that, release the tensioner, and the belt will be good to go. Check the belt while you're there for cracks and everything. If it needs to be replaced, just go and replace it. Then we can hook up those positives right here, and once we do that, of course, we're gonna connect this connector here. We're gonna connect everything back that I disconnected. We're gonna put this clamp back on place right there. It's really important not to forget that. We're gonna put the air intake box here, and then we'll go from there. We'll just keep you posted from there. All right, so once you tied up this for the terminal right there, 1/2-inch nuts, you can just, oh my god, yeah, put the boot back on, don't forget that, and start plugging back everything. The O2 sensors going here and here. This one needs to be connected in a moment. Let me see. There you go. Nice and snug. I'm gonna put the camera down for a moment. Okay, snap that connector over there. Then it goes right here, and this guy just gotta push in. Then this little guy here goes into the alternator, I believe. Let's see, right there, I'm pretty sure. There we go. And now we're just gonna put the intake, the filter box. We're gonna put, before that, we're gonna put that bracket in there, just like that. I can do that while holding the camera with one hand, and do this guy here. There you go. Tie them in this. Then put the second bolt in right here. Almost there. All right, almost there. My video just stopped on me, so just have to press resume. So once this is there, just gotta get a socket. I think it was a 15 or something. Then we're just gonna put this one here, 2 bolts on. There's the second one in. And once we tied up those, we can proceed with the intake on this side of the engine. We can proceed with the intake, the filter box, the filter, the cap, the upper part, and just we're gonna move to the battery, and then we're gonna start the car. All right, let's do that. Once I tied this bolt, this one, and these two here, I put the clip, the clamp back on the coolant hose, so we don't forget that. It's really important. We hooked up those connectors here, back on the back side of the alternator down there. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Yep, right there. This one is connected for the O2 sensor. So I'm gonna proceed with, I have on the back of the car the intake manifold of the intake and the filter. So we'll do that real quick and we'll go back. All right. Once the tube is in, don't forget to tie up this flat head screw. Then I put the bottom of the filter box. Just gonna get the filter out of here. Now, filter right there. There's a little tap, so you cannot really mess it up. My filter is okay, so I'm not gonna replace it yet. So that's good. So I'm gonna put the top part, and I'm gonna connect this to the top side of the filter box, and just gonna tie up this one, connect the sensor, and we'll go on the other side. All right, so once this is on, this is connected, I tied it up. Just gonna connect this sensor here, airflow, make sure it's nice and snug. Don't forget to connect this tube back in here. And now I will put back the battery tray. That's supposed to go in like that. Here's the bolts. This guy here needs to go in there. Too much right there. And I'm gonna tie it up later. So I'm gonna get these bolts on their spots. Press this underneath here. Yeah, we can just move this thing around. That's why I should have done that. I should have done that day. And just do this. Oh yeah. You have to hook up this guy here. There's some tabs on that side and same on the other side. And once you do that, just kind of match with the holes for the bolts and just put on maybe 1 or 2 bolts. There you go. And just put one. You can easily put the other ones into place right here. You just have to wiggle it around. Once you do that, there you go. Once you put 2 on, there's a bunch of stuff here in the way. The rest of the 2 will fall. Yeah, the rest of the 2 will fall into place the way they should. Just gonna put this guy here. By hand as much as possible, and then I'm gonna tie it up with a ratchet. Just gotta get the other bolts right here, and yeah, we're gonna tie it up just with the ratchet, and we'll come back. All right, so after I tied up those 4 bolts, one there, one there, one there, and one here. This is the bracket for the battery. I'm not gonna mount that simply because there's no screw and there's no bolt over there. I'm just honestly don't need it. I tied up this one. I put the engine cover back on. You need to take off the engine oil cap off, and there's one clip here, one there, over there. You just push it in, put that back on, and you're good to go. Just gonna put the battery back in, and then we'll just fire it up. Probably the battery is dead, so I hook it up from my car. It's charging over there since I'm working on the street. I didn't want to bring my charger. So we're gonna start the car and we're gonna drive it. All right, so the car is working. The alternator is charging. The meter shows that it's charging, so we're all good. We're gonna close this lid. We're gonna drive the car for a little bit to charge the battery. This battery is good. You don't necessarily need to replace it, but if it's an old battery, you might as well replace it if you have the money. I wouldn't say so because it's a fairly new battery. The customer bought it. She bought it like a while ago. I think it was last year. She barely used the car, so the car has been running this past summer, so we should be good on that. Yeah, that was a quick video of how you do the alternator. I wish I could do a detailed video, but I'm not going to be able to do that. If you want to see the next project of this car, I would definitely say, let me go to the other side. It's way worse than the other side. So we'll have to remove the carpet and do cleaning because the car is flooded. As you can see, it's super neglected and nobody took care of it. There's water here and there, so we're just gonna do that. We're gonna take everything out pull the carpet out. Hopefully it's out fairly easy. And power wash everything, let it dry and put it back in. So yeah, stay tuned for that and see how it goes.